All right, B. Anyone remember what we do with a surd like this? Okay, that's it. Multiply it by 1 minus root 3 on 1 minus root 3. And then that just becomes, obviously don't forget, this is a binomial expansion, right? So 2 root 3 times 1, 2 root 3, 2 root 3 times negative root 3, negative 2 times 3, because the root and the root cancels out, minus 2 plus 2 root 3. I'm not doing anything fancy. 1 minus root 3 is 3. Do you kind of understand what I've done there? Yeah. Just expanded really, right? And then 2 root 3 plus 2 root 3, 4 root 3, minus 6 minus 2 is minus 8 on negative 2. And you can see you can factorize, you can cancel out a negative 2 from all three numbers here. So we might as well do that. So 4 divided by negative 2 is negative 2. Negative 8 divided by negative 2 is positive 4. And then it says write it in that form. It is, if you ask what is A and B, A is of course 4, and B would be negative 2. Can you see that happening? Simple. You said the hardest bit. You got to understand when you're at this level of your I guess your math career, it's just the first line you're interested in. Once you know the first line, the rest should just be what you would naturally do. So if I was to know that it's going to be multiplied by the conjugate, I would expand, simplify, cancel, do everything you would normally do. Cool, good, all good. Anything else from question 1?
F, please.
There we go. Oh wait, anyone still writing this one up? Nope. F. A country has a 15% rate of GST. A golf club sells for 184, which includes GST. So when you're saying new, this new price is 184. You can't say old times 15% is 184, because you know it's not the old price times 15%, it's the old price times 15% plus the old price. That gets me 184. Do you understand that, Eden?
Well,
one more time. It's the old price plus the old price times 15% that gets me 184. Isn't that right? Isn't
Yes.
That what, yeah, exactly.
Yes.
You can't say this. You can't say old times 15. Old times 15% is just, for example, if I did old times 15% and I got, like, let's say 50, that's just a 15% of the old price. That's not the new price. Once you understand that, you understand that the percentage needs to be different. What should the percentage be if it's an increase? That's all. And then, of course, you do what you said, Eden. You are going to divide. 184 over 115% should give you $160. Does that make sense? It's an increase of 15%. It's 115. It's a decrease of 15%. That means it would have been 85%. So if it was a decrease by 15%, it would be old times 85% gives me new. I'm sure you guys all remember that.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I get that.
Next. Question 2. I think there was only A, wasn't there? Oh, and A, and I, and double I. Anyone done them yet? No. We'll come back to them, obviously, but no. For now, leave it. Question 3. Oh, someone messaged something. Let's have a look. I just took a screenshot. What good? You did A and it was fine?
I got X and Y.
Did you check it?
Same. Yes, right.
That's right, perfect. All right, I will do this one actually, just because I think it's important to do these two components. In the diagram, A, B, and C are the points, 1, 5, blah, blah, blah. The angle between the line BC is theta. To the x-axis is theta. The gradient of this line is -1/3. Calculate the size of theta correct to the nearest degree. Anyone know what formula I'm meant to use to find theta given?
Sine rule.
Incorrect.
Cos rule.
Incorrect. To use those rules, you need to say theta's up here. Yeah, so that's a bit different. Okay, then let's talk about
supplementary.
Nope. Let's talk about your formulas for gradients, because there's a lot. So let's start with the first one. What's your first formula for gradient? What's your next one? Think of it, gradients. The topic to be done gradients. A big one this year. There's a big new topic that you've done this year.
1
minus 1, calculus. You're talking about, oh yeah, mx plus b. If it was in this form, y equals mx plus b, you can find the gradient from the line just by looking at it. The next one you said is calculus, y dash is gradient. Yeah, what else? Rise over run, which is a boring one. You don't probably do that anymore. There's only one more. That's up here. Oh, that's the equation of a line.
Oh, yeah.
That's to find the equation. No, that's okay. But once you find it, it's here. Mx plus b, and then it's m. There's one more, the one you guys are missing. A relationship between m and theta. It's a small one that you don't use very often, but it's obviously in every single exam. Because we know no one knows it. No? Anyone at home? Got no idea? Okay, let's prove it. Here it is. Here it is. This is theta. This is rise. Would you agree? This is run. Would you agree? What's rise over run? Gradient. Rise over run is gradient. Do we agree with that? And then that means opposite also for this, opposite over adjacent is tan theta. So if tan theta is rise over run, therefore tan theta is equal to? Yeah, the gradient. So the next formula is also tan theta. That's the only way you're ever going to have a relationship between an angle and gradient. So it's tan theta, which equals to m. Cool? Now it's very easy. You know tan theta is equal to -1/3. But you're going to get, if you inverse this negative, you'll get -18 degrees, which doesn't make a lot of sense. You're going to subtract it from 180. Or, if you want to know the way we've obviously done it properly, it's always been inverse tan the positive case, which gives you about 18 degrees. Does that look like 18 degrees to you guys? This one's 18 degrees. This is 18 degrees. This one's not 18 degrees. So how do we find that? What do you reckon? Straight line. And here's something you guys haven't put together, but I hope from what I'm about to say, you'll just be like, ready? She says straight line. Absolutely correct, because that's what I would have done. Where is tan negative? S, what's S? 180? 18 degrees. 180 minus is your straight line. 180 minus 180 minus. So sine theta, when you're doing that, it's the same answer, 162 degrees. You don't do cos because obviously it's going to be too large for a triangle. So there you go. Same answer. Answer is 162. USB-C? Is it USB-C charger? Is it? Yeah, C. Yeah, done. I'll check my bag. I might have one.
Just like share or something.
Okay.
And then when I got like the usually download this one.
All right. How come yours is not going?
It's almost there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's on.
So special about your one. All right. Show the line BC has this equation. To show the line BC, how do we find the line? Equation of a line. That's the one. Does that make sense? So if it says find the equation of a line, we do y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I know it doesn't matter, but that's the thing. y1. I'm just going to pick this one. x1, y1. You already know what the gradient is, so let's go ahead and try to get it out. M is negative a third. That's what was given to us. So y minus y1 equals negative a third. X minus x1. What did I always say to do at this stage when you've got a fraction like this? I did not say to expand it in. And fingers crossed, we got it out. If we know how to multiply, 3 times 3 is 9. And then x plus 3y plus 4 equals 0. Do you see it all? So, do you agree with that? Multiply by 3.
What is it? 3 1?
3 times y. 3 times 3.
Minus
No, I left the negative. Negative x plus 5. Negative x plus 5.
Okay.
So I left the negative 1. I just multiplied by 3. You could have multiplied by negative 3, obviously it doesn't make a difference. That's when you use y minus y1. But then if I needed to find the gradient from here, you'd make y the subject, and then it will look like this, mx plus b. Right? You'll make y the subject, then you can get the gradient from that line as well. That's what we meant by mx plus b. Okay, all good. Question 3, any questions? Or we haven't got any other questions, or you guys just got to continue studying now? Just continue. Anyone else have actual questions? All right, then, or maybe
3i.
3i, find the size of the largest angle. You do use cosine rule, but you don't need cosine rule, you need another angle.
Okay.
Which one? A, B, C, right? Because it matters. Because like your formula is this, isn't it? Cos C is equal to A squared plus B squared minus C squared on 2AB. So like, it obviously matters which one's your angle. So which one? Find the size of the largest angle.
9.6 would be your C.
That's the angle you're trying to find. If you want to find the largest angle, it's opposite the largest sides. Come on, think of it logically. Ready? Look how small the side is. Look how small my angle is. Look how large the side is. Look how large my angle would be. That's the logic. So, largest angle, largest side. So yeah, that becomes your C. Either of these are A's and B's. It doesn't really matter. Good. All right. I'll leave that with you guys for a little bit longer now. Keep going. What is that?
What is the calculation?
That's the formula, 2AB.
Oh, yeah.
2AB. C squared plus C equals A squared plus B squared minus C squared over 2AB.
So you said the solutions, right?
Correct. Yeah, divided by 2. Before we try and change this movement, you can inverse opposite, you don't put an negative in your calculator, do the alterations to central, that tells you what is negative. It just depends on what you think. What do you do on something?
What's the negative?
How do you find the this? No, not to leave that.
Inverse product.
Yeah, but you can't inverse positive. But at school they do it, so that's where it's tricky. Just, you got like I said, later, it'll come back to it. It's really important. The grade is A. Differentiate it, the grade is A. And X is negative 4.
What's X to
A is the number. X is the letter of the
What is one?
Yeah, so if one is 3, 4, equals X equals 2.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
No, but X equals 2. Yeah, 1, 0. No, minus 2X plus 1.
Mhm.
Stop it. For the last one. Then the way we do it is test number
Check
1.
that.
That's what you have to do. And so where's the answer to 1? Because the number is stop here. Draw number 1. Good. Somebody is maybe 1, somebody is 2. You can see it's greater than open circle, open circle. Open circle. Now you test. This is 0. It's a single. Like test x equals 0. 0 take away 1 is negative 1. Absolute value is 1. Is 1. You're getting through? Right, one you're getting through. So 3 cross. No, so you're going to go no, which means this is no, cross it. No, 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 no.
Oh,
In the middle is where's the 0? That's in the left. Yeah. So let's make it. We're not going to do this. They're not going to do this. We'll cross it. You know where they're going? Yeah, good. You're right. That's right. F is greater than 2. Greater than. F is less than 2.
that makes sense.
Yeah, no inequality until the last line, which is the only time you're going to have inequality.
Okay, questions at this stage? No? Okay,
What did you guys come up getting for the?
which F was it? Oh, 160 I think it was. Yeah. All times 115% is 180. Because it increased by 115. You're looking at this. All times 115 equals 184.
Right hand is 115.
Well, that's what you would have done. That's why I'm trying to use this formula. You would have naturally, if I told you, hey, that calculator you bought it for $10.
Yeah.
You need to increase it by 15%. You would say, okay, that's 10 times 115%. That gives you a new price. Unless the way you've always done it has been 10 times 15% when you add it on top. How would you find it if I told you bought your calculator? If you bought a calculator for $10, increase it by 15%, how would you have done it?
Oh wait. Oh.
I don't know. That's my question.
I have
You bought it for $10.
I bought $10.
You want to increase it by 15%.
I would have. Yeah, I would have done times 0.15. So
And then add it on top.
Yeah.
That method works only if you're going that way,
Okay.
right? If you're going from like old, because I gave you the old price, $10, you want to find the new
So you're adding the
100%, which is the original price, on top of the 15%.
GST the add-on.
Yeah,
Okay, so I'm really bad at this type of stuff. I thought GST was like the amount of tax you're paying, so like it's like 15% of the overall price.
that's tax now. GST is a little bit different.
Okay.
It's a tax still.
I got it confused.
Yeah. The other one's gone.
The
Anyway, that
GST is
Just
basically
an add-on.
the add-on.
Yeah,
of
just
the-
like an increase. Yeah,
Okay, so if this is 15% on times and the overall price about 150%.
that's exactly
Then
correct.
the 20%, 120%.
Right.
Okay, and you practice that. Will it be a lot like that?
Sorry?
Will it be a lot like that?
There won't be a lot. Nope. Only the one.
Okay, well, yeah, I got tax and GST confused.
That's okay. Okay. The distance. All right, let's look at question 5 together. B, question 5B. Let's have a read. Vanessa sets sail on her yacht from Port Puri on a bearing of 137 degrees. She sails for 15 nautical miles before a storm forces her. Think of nautical miles as kilometers, which is easier. Before a storm forces her to change direction and sail on a bearing of 78 degrees to Craigie Cove. The diagram shows her course and the point S indicates where she changed direction due to the storm. So let me read that again. Vanessa set sail from P on a bearing of 137. Okay, what do we always do when we're doing these bearing questions? We draw that. Thank you. Not just north. All the way. Then we know that 137 degrees yeah, so it was, yeah, so let me just make sure she sails for 15 degrees, so then that would mean she was going to travel to S, and then unfortunately a storm hit and she had to travel to C. So that means this bearing here, from here all the way to this line, is 137. We're okay with that? She sails for 15 kilometers before a storm forces her to change direction and sail on a bearing of 78 to Craigie Coast. So that's 15, like it says. And then she has to change her direction and goes 78 degrees to C. So then again, this angle here is 78 degrees. Do they agree with that? If you're used to the way I do my questions by now, you know that before I even start anything else, I go and put all my alternate angles in, right? So I know if that's 137, I know that that angle there is 180 minus 137, which is 43 degrees. If we know that's 43, straight away we know this is 43. If we know this is 78, I straight away know down here is 78. If I know this is 12 degrees, I also know that this right here is 12 degrees. Something like that. We agree with that? Now I start. Show that angle PSC is 121. I'm done. You guys should all have realized by now when you see me do these questions, I've always completed part I before even reading part I. That's because the technique to it is exactly the same every question. It's draw your compass, then do your alternate angles. You happy with that? So that's 121. That's already done. Find angle PCPCS. Find this angle. I'll just do a different color. Find this angle. Theta. P. Say it again. We've got 12, but that's, I don't think that's going to help much right now. Yes, what I'm missing, because that's why it's not there, the distance PC is 17.4 kilometers. That was given right here. Otherwise, it's pretty much impossible. Yes, sine. So you're going to do sine theta on what?
Oh, sine theta
on 15.
Mm-hmm.
What's equal to sine
121
121 over
17.4.
17.4. Can you all see that? Sine theta over 15, sine 121 over 17.4. And then, are we all comfortable with making theta the subject here, or not really? We're good. Times by 15 and then inverse sine. Cool. I'll leave that with you guys. Well, we need the answer. Can someone tell me the answer for theta?
48.
48 degrees. Should we trust him? All right. Last one. Hence find the bearing of P from C. The biggest word there is obviously from. If it's from C, entirely mean it's going to work like this. Ready? From here, north, 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 all the way to there. But we technically have everything, don't we? Again, I've answered this from the way I answered the question before I started the question. Natalia, can you see that's 180 there? Plus theta. Well, you don't need the 12 because that 12 is already in my theta. Do you get what I'm saying?
It's just plus 78.
Plus the 78, yeah, 100%. 78, yes. I'm saying the 12 is not necessary, but that's okay. I put it in there. I wouldn't have known. So the answer is 180 plus 78 plus 48. 180 plus 78 plus 48 degrees. See it? Again, maybe you wouldn't have realized it if you didn't realize to do 78 right at the beginning. I don't know. That needs to be your first step. You've got to engrave that into your memory. Before I start, I go do my alternate angles and I go do my, that's just how these work. If you do that, you shouldn't really get any questions wrong. If you don't do that, I don't really see you guys getting it all out. I just don't, I've never seen anyone beat out before. So, my clue. I think I saw another one that I would like to do, just to make sure. It's an easy one, but I thought since we're here, there it is. What question number? Question 3b. 2 cos theta plus 1 equals 0. 2 cos theta plus 1 equals 0. Okay, here we go. Cos theta equals minus the 1, divide by 2, so negative 1 over 2. What do we do at this stage? Inverse cos, but you can't inverse cos the negative, so it's going to look something like this. Theta with a hat, so that you don't forget it's not your answer, it's not theta. Inverse cos of a half, which gives you probably, what, 60 degrees or something? Nice. Then you pause. What do you do at this stage? So you've got that bit down, that all stations to central. Then we ask ourselves, where is cos negative? You would say T is back. T and S. And obviously, what's your answer for theta? 180 minus 60. 180 plus 60. Now you pause.
Only one works.
Then you pause. You look at the domain. And you're like, not really done. I've never done it like that.
Instead of adding 360, subtract 360.
Like that. Do you get me? We want to subtract. You remember, we can add and subtract as many 360s as you like. If I subtract 360 from this, what happens? Negative 120. And 120. If I subtract 360 from this, you obviously get negative 240, which you don't need because you're only meant to stop at 180 and negative 180. So you would cross out the other two, technically. Does that make sense? So if it was all the way up to 360, you should have obviously 240, but because it's not up to 360, these are your two answers. Yeah, very important. Add and subtract 360s. Continue. Yes. You start at
6.
okay. Yeah.
Last lesson when you came back, you hung up on us early to say to talk to you and catch up.
What did I?
Yes.
Oh. See the power you
It's
have.
how we know you missed them.
It was only him that was here. It wasn't them. It was just him. And then the others came.
Was Rosemary late as per usual?
Always. He hasn't changed. I'm actually surprised she's not late on mine. Alright. Keep going. for Saturday class.
Such a waste of my day.
100 is Saturday. I feel the same. No matter what. No, so mu times, so all times the percentage equal to mu. The mu is this, so this number divided by this. You get it?
No.
The formula is O times 115% will give you mu.
Okay.
You
So
already
that's
have this.
including GST.
You
Yeah.
already have it, so you
Okay.
divide it. You
Okay.
get the O.
Is this going to be negative?
Could be.
Yeah, but I don't think it's okay.
It's assumed on this problem. I know. But you, yeah, I know.
I can't remember what we did at the beginning of this year, let alone this year.
It could, so the thing is,
At least it's not that.
it's not a huge component. It could, it most likely won't be explicitly asked like that. It most likely won't be, but it could be asked as a part double or triple R, as a lead-on question.
I mean,
It's like the
asked like this. This was not hard.
Yeah. X minus 1. Let's do that one. All right, question 1, C. Question 1C. 2x minus 1 equals 3. 2x minus 1 equals negative 3. That's what you do with absolute values. And then 2x equals 4, x equals 2, minus 3 plus 1 is minus 2, x equals to negative 1. At this point, you draw an underline. You test x equals 0, which is right here somewhere. 2 times 0 is 0, minus 1 is negative 1. Absolute value of that is 1. Is 1 bigger than 3? No, which means does 0 work? Open circles because it's just greater than, not equal to. They're running away. Answer is x is bigger than 2. X is smaller than negative 1. I would do the right hand side. I know you did the left. Again, that's what they teach at school, but right hand side is easier.
Scroll down.
So
Did
look,
you end up getting?
160.
I think it's good. I got 160.
184, right? $184 over 115%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 160.
What did it mean?
Just a different method. It's not the method we do. Sorry?
They factor
It's
in.
okay.
Yeah, they do the negative on the left side.
Thank you.
It's a different method. Why do you want to learn two methods?
Focus on the
It's easier. You're just doing x, you're making these equal signs. And then you're testing. The problem with this method is that, okay. So you make a positive on the left and positive on the right, keep it the same. Positive on the right, negative on the left, do not change your sign. And then as you minus 1, you divide, you change your sign. But it's not flawless. That's why I don't teach it. It's up to you. Or you're doing just that extra testing bit.
What days does not sun's never come out?
Tuesday, 6 to 8.
Am I able to go then? Is there a between my class or Thursday?
No, you can come in now.
Yeah.
Tuesday, 6 to 8.
Because I might not be able to come 6 to 8, but I'm able to come straight after school.
But he has class.
I'm just sick. Because none of the ladies work for me, so I'm making any other classes. See, I don't have favorites.
You caused me a lot of headaches.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
You caused me a lot.
No.
But I'm doing it for you. Because, I mean how? I'm literally trying to do everything that I can't do because of work. I do this thing. That's why you're my favorite. But yeah, next term.
Because you're more.
Have Have a beautiful night. Drive safely. Take care.
I will see.
Bye.
Bye, thank you. I think my family forgot about me.